Good evening, everyone. This is our third session, our activity session that will be full of action-packed mysteries of your behavior. This session will uncover some of your behavior issue as it relates to your appearance. Now, you will get an opportunity to journey with me into the unknown. My name is Andrea Chapman, and I am your host. Mysterious behavior, action and activity time, appearance. Now, we talked about appearance in our last session. The session is going to be different. This one is because it's going to involve looking inside of what is here as it relates to your appearance. Now, if you haven't listened to appearance, my last tape, you have to go back to listen to that session before you start this one. Knowing how appearance affect your behavior. Now, you want to get your pen and pencil out. You need your writing tools. Go ahead and stop the video, stop the tape, and you can stop it at any time to get all your tools. I also hope that you haven't forgot to purchase my book, because you'll need it, our Mysterious Behavior box. So let's get started. Write down some physical traits that you know you have inherited from a parent or other relatives and identify that individual. For example, your nose may be large, just like your father. If you've never met your parents, or maybe one of your other relatives can tell you some things about them and other relatives' appearance. If so, I want you to write it down. Now, if you want to skip this session of this activity because you don't know anything about your relative, it's okay. But I will be using some of my life experience, me, and examples for you to do these activities. So let's get started. First activities, you ready? Me, my dark complexion is from my father. My legs is from my father too, biological, I didn't know him. My wide nose, my mom. My thumb, the other day we were looking, not the other day, but we were looking at our thumbs together and they look just alike, identical, would you believe it? And I'm like, oh boy. My older brother and I, we look like our biological father. My older brother knew the father, but I didn't. My older sister and younger brother, they look like my mom. Now, my older sister and I were very small breasts. It was like my mom. But as you can see, I don't have that problem now, do I? She and my mom still had the small breasts. Now, it's funny. When we were younger, we stuffed our bras with tissue. Full, lots of tissues to get that full look. Now, I got a lot of my height from my mom, and some say from my biological father. Now, I'm not sure about the other relatives in my family, but if you are, later on, you think of some more things about your appearance as it relates to your relatives, write it down. And you will be keeping these assignments to help you with your self-examination for a later review. Now, I will be talking about some of these things on a virtual session in the near future. Now, you have completed that first activity and it was very good. As I said, stop and go as you need. Let's go on. Let's move on to the next session. Now, I want you to write down physical traits that you like about yourself. And then you tell me why you like these traits. Okay, let's use me. My legs, I like those because it caught my husband's attention. He loved them. He talked about them all the time, how beautiful they are. Now, some other people compliment me, but you know, they don't really matter. They don't count. I get my build from my parents. They say really, I actually like my father. And it's even proportion, even to distribute. So when I gain weight, it's all proportion. When I lose weight, it's all proportion. So that's not too bad. Okay? I get my breasts, again, from my mom, but they're not too big and they're not too small now. So that's a positive for me. Now, the next session is on the negative side. Write down some physical traits that you do not like about yourself. Okay? And I want to know why. And for me, let me start with my feet. I have huge bunions on my feet. It's really hard time to find shoes. They are very noticeable, and you have some of these friends that, you know, so nice to give you those negative comments. So you know what I did? I went to the hospital to get them removed. And the doctor said, Mrs. Chapman, do they hurt? I said, no, are they supposed to? He said, if I were you, I would just leave them alone. So I did. I decided I wasn't going to let people dictate what my feet was supposed to look like. Then it was my height. Negative. I was too tall. I was the youngest one in class, but I was very tall, especially in middle school. I always had to stand in the back of the line because all the boys and the girls were short. But I got over it. Now it's my belly. I know all about it. I can change that. I know I can. But I don't want to. At least not now. It just has to stay the way it is. I know how to tuck it in, wear the right outfit. My hair, for a long time, it was too short, too thin, patchy looking. And a lot of people told me, Andrea, that's genetic. Look at your mom. Look at your grandmother. You know, people can scar you by telling you what you can do and what you cannot do and what you can wear and what you cannot wear. So I decided to go for the natural look. Ta-da! Sister locks. I'm loving them. My husband loved them. And people compliment me about them all the time. So I did something about it. There are some things we didn't like when we were young, but now it's an attribute. So that's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Now let's do the moment of truth. Look at yourself. It is very important to be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror. What do you see? Do you want to change anything? And for what reason do you want to change that? You remember I talked about looking in the mirror? Who's our worst enemy? You remember that, don't you? You. So sometimes we need to reflect and contemplate. Why do we need to do that? Because we need to find out more about what's in here, what's up there. Okay? Let's do that. I want you to answer some questions for me. Truthfully. There's 3 of them. You can write them down later on. How do you feel about your physical appearance? Truthfully. Has your appearance altered your behavior in any way? Think about that. Now, if your appearance have altered your behavior in any way, a negative way, what are you going to do about it? I have just a few suggestions, and I'm sure you have many, and I want you to let me know what they are. Be proud of who you are, number 1. If need be, look for ways to improve your appearance without overboard, like cosmetic surgery. You don't have the money for that anyways. Change how you dress may be a way of solving the problem. Clothes consultants is helpful, but if I were you, I would go to Google and the internet and Google it and find out what I can do to make my dress more appropriate. List the things that you don't like about your appearance, and I want you to find ways to improve. Sometimes cosmetic surgery, not surgery, but cosmetics will help in the case of facial flaws. And maybe, again, a skin consultant could help as well. So write down several things you've learned. Stop, write them down about your appearance in this session. It's an activity session. In conclusion, sometimes the way you look dictates how you treat other people. Be no mistake about it. Unfortunately, but it's true. How you look dictates how other people treat you. The color of your skin. Racism, we know about that. Color of your skin. Hate. Crazy, isn't it? The weight, your body, fat, small, in between. Job offers, you're not going to get it depending on your size. And you know being popular in school has to do with your appearance. Relationships, married couples, and this list can go on and on and on until it's almost frightening to think about it. It really is. And it's kind of sad in a way. My name is Andrea Chapman. I'm looking forward to our next session, session 4, on mysterious behavior. It will be on character the next time, as well as you and others, our character. Continue, please, to visit my website at AndreaLChapman.net, and let us try to make some changes for a better you, a better me. As I said, and I always will, my quote, positive thoughts make a positive you. So thank you very much, and I will definitely see you next time. Tell your family members and friends.